Well, I'm kind of sure what I'm going to do with this car now. I'm kind of kicking around keeping it. Wow, how about that, huh? But I'll tell you why I've kind of been kicking around. I've been going back and forth. Part of the reason is used cars, since the pandemic started, has gone up quite a bit in price. And for some reason, it's harder to find a TDI. There's a lot of them that got junked from the thing. So I was looking at a TDI. I was going to do the CP3 pump mod. I don't know if you know what that is. I'll tell you what it is real quick. You take a fuel pump from the Duramax diesel, like what's in this truck here, and you replace the existing high pressure fuel pump with a CP3, which is the older pump. Apparently, this is all Bosch injection, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that. But this is a CP4 and CP4 style, and all the trucks even that have CP4s on them are failing. We're having issues with them because of the piston design. And if you look at videos on how it's designed, the CP3 is pretty much a forever pump. The way it's designed is more like a connecting rod, and this one is designed more like a lifter, a roller lifter, where it goes up and down what runs the pump. And the other one's more like a connecting rod style. So the CP3 is very, very long-term lasting. It will probably last as long as the car will. So once that's changed, the possibility of actually getting the metal shavings in your fuel system and wiping out the whole fuel system is pretty much eliminated. So other than that, the CJAA, which is the predecessor to this one, this is a CBE, okay, the CJAA engine that comes in the later models, it has no other issues other than the fuel system. So if this gets corrected, this car will last forever. The downside is the pump. And I've seen them on eBay. There's a guy who sells used ones. They're fine for like $1,000. Okay, the pumps kits are around $1,700 to $2,000. So when I was looking at other cars, I'm looking at, okay, how many miles are on the brakes? I know how many miles are on the brakes in this car. How many miles are on all the stuff that I know. I know this car inside and out. I know the issues with it. I know the issues that are not with it. If I buy another car, I'm going to have to figure all that stuff out. So that's going to take time. It's also going to cost me around, I'm looking in the neighborhood of about $10,000 for something that would more than likely make it to my home without the CP4 pump going out. In other words, if it's got less than 100,000 miles. If it has more than that, it's kind of on borrowed time unless the emissions modification has been done. And it's only a temporary repair if you get it done at the dealer. You got to go to the CP3 or it's going to be an issue again. So the problem is that's not been priced into the ones that are for sale. So you look at them and everything's kind of going for a premium right now because of the pandemic. Everybody started buying cars because they didn't want to take the bus. So a lot of cars in the used car market's gone up quite a bit in some of the cities. So I was looking at the options. I think, and I don't know for sure, but I think I found an engine and transmission out of a crash car with low miles on it. There's a lot of them out there because a lot of people didn't get the emission modification. The cars are sitting in fields all over the United States. There's like 20,000 of them out in Victorville, out there by the airport or something like that. It's crazy. They're all over the place. They're out there. They're out in Detroit. A lot of places they have these cars sitting there. So there's some of them that got sold to junkyards, and the junkyards are just yanking the motors out and selling them for cheap. So, but then I have the issue of doing the work. So I decided, okay, well, I can't really, if I take it to a shop to have them do it, it's going to be expensive. And so what I decided is to look for a mobile technician. So I've talked to a guy. He may be coming over this next 2 weeks or so once I get the engine. And I'm going to have him do the stuff. But since I'm here, he doesn't really know how to do the computer part of it. So I'll do that. You know, you have to program the new injectors from the other engine into the computer. And I'll be doing that, and I'll be changing the pump over to the other one. So I figured out that probably is the best option, because then I know the car, I know the issues with it, and pretty much they've been resolved at that point. My other options were to buy something completely different, and the issues with that are the gas mileage. I can't get anywhere near the city gas mileage I have. California, the cost of fuel is ridiculously high, and it's really kind of low right now in comparison to where it was. And people think, oh wow, it's nice and low, it's no big thing, I'll buy the big car, whatever. You know, I bought a lot of oil stock. Why did I do that? Because I know it's going right back up. So when the pandemic hit, I bought oil stock, and I know, because I know that this is just a temporary, when this pandemic thing is kind of resolved and people get the vaccines or whatever, and it starts to dissipate, then the oil prices are going to go right back up again. So, and so is the fuel cost at, you know, for this car. So I always monitor in fuel costs whenever I buy a car. And, you know, also I really enjoy the performance of this car. I really don't like working on it. So if I can get somebody else to do the engine swap for me, and maybe I'll have to do a little bit of stuff on it. He's not really a VW guy. You know, I'll probably have to help him do part of it or whatever. You know, I kind of had that situation with Chris here before, and he was really good. And now he's actually got a really good job at a diesel shop, and he learned a lot about diesels from working with me. So it's great. I'm really happy for him. But, you know, now I have to kind of do this stuff myself, and there's a lot here to do. So what I'm going to do is have somebody help me take the engine out, replace the engine with the other one. And at the same time, I'll put my flywheel on here, because I know that the flywheel's already been done on this car. In fact, it only has about 20,000, 15,000 miles on it. So I'll put my flywheel on, because they only last maybe 150,000 miles-ish, somewhere. The flywheels last. The springs wear out in them. So you got to replace them every once in a while for what was called a dual mass flywheel. That's one of the issues with this car. It's a pain in the ass. You got to do it. But, you know, it's just part of the deal. I mean, every car's got issues. And I'll replace the DSG with another used DSG with low miles. It'll probably last me quite a while. So that's what I'm probably going to do. That's kind of where I'm at right now on it. And this one has the, where is it? I guess that's it right there. Proof of completion for the emissions modification. So then I can put the Kerma TDI 170 kit in it. That'll be fun. Maybe I'll do that too. But then it's a 170 horsepower. You know, they do a thing and it kind of supersedes this thing. But it has a sticker, so we're good to go. And it doesn't make the engine light go on. I was talking to him already about it. Something I was considering doing anyway. But if I get this thing to be, I'll put a new timing belt on it, new CP3 pump, have the thing all basically bulletproofed out, then the issues kind of go away. And literally, I've really had very few problems with this car other than that. I've had way less maintenance issues with this car than I have with most of the gas engine cars I've had. So I guess, I'll keep it around, I suppose. It's kind of a catch-22, right? So, or I would spend a lot more, because I don't ever buy a new car. I'd spend a lot more money buying a newer car or a new car. Brand new cars, what, about 35,000, 40,000 bucks with tax, and if I buy something used, which I usually do, I usually get something, 5 or 8 years old or 10 years old, whatever, with, that I feel is a good car. And, if I did that, the market for those is up kind of high. It's not that bad, but, for the ones I would want, for the gas mileage I want to get, yeah, they're a little more money. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at on this thing. I think I'll just leave this at that. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. You guys who are curious, TDI guys, I know we have a few watching the channel, so I figured I'd make a video on it and what I'm doing, and I'll show you guys later. We'll have a video of actually doing the engine swap. I don't think the engine I'm going to get is a CJAA engine. I think it's a CBEA, but it's got low miles. I'd rather get the CJAA, but I don't know. Trying to find one, you know, where I'm at is kind of hard right now. There's ones on eBay and stuff like that, but you know, rather than do that, I'll just take the CBE, and what I'll do is I'll put the oil pump from CJAA on it, and then there's a little hose delete thing you put in there for a return or one of the oil pressure things. So I'll eliminate that, and then it'll basically be a CJAA at that point. The only difference is basically on those engines is subtle things that are different. There's some oil galley changes, and that's why they changed the model of it. And the because they changed the oil galley for the counterweights on this one, and it doesn't have it on the other one. So I'll just do the oil pump mod on it before I put it in. While it's on the ground, it's a whole lot easier to do. And then just put it all in the car. Done. All right. So that's what I'm going to do. Talk to you in the next video. Please like, share, and subscribe.